Feel incredible!
It's not a cartoon, it's anime! Yes! The squad is back! Almost hit my head against my own laptop. Welcome to another episode of Animeshun. Squad is here in full effect today. Myself, Brennan.
Full effect, little bitch.
Rob, Ice. This is the Animation Podcast. We review anime, we talk our shit, have a little fun, have debates, one-offs, talk about movies. Death Note, the conclusion week of Rob Fonda's pick.
My pick, but it was kind of a fan pick. You know, there was a
No. Goddamn episodes, Rob. Jesus.
You're a researcher.
Rob, you're a man of the people.
You're a researcher, Rob. I'm sure you saw was like Death Note. Let me check this out real quick. Let's see what's going on. 37 episodes. I'll pick my own anime. You would.
It was when we were talking about how many are we going to watch a week, and it came up. It was like 37 total episodes.
Man,
oh God. And this is
all of us was like, "Fuck."
Yeah, and for this stretch, 7 episodes this last stretch. And this is the second most amount of episodes we've ever watched for one of our.
And just so y'all know,
what was the first?
I watched them.
The first we watched 8 for the end of Demon Slayer when we had Keith on as a special guest.
Oh, y'all did that on your own.
Y'all, just so y'all know.
You know what's so crazy with Demon Slayer that I didn't even finish it, like the anime. I thought because we did our episodes and y'all had the episode with Keith, and then my son was watching it, and I'm like, oh, it's only going up to a certain amount of episodes. I'm like, wait, they fucking animated this, but I realized I didn't finish it, and
never sat down.
Yeah.
I did it
Demon
this
Slayer
morning.
gonna be one of the ghosts.
I did it this morning. I watched all 7 episodes.
You did all 7 episodes
this morning.
Yeah, I text Brett. I was like, "Yo, I need your questions, bro." He's like, "I'm about to just start watching." I was like, "You're wild for this shit."
1.5 speed.
I watched
Can
it
you watch 1.5
regular speed?
You had to, right? You watched it on Netflix?
Yeah, I watched it on Netflix.
Yeah, you can't speed that up.
Yeah, you can't speed that up. I kind of did that. I watched 4 episodes last night. I took a nap and then woke up at 8 and finished the last 3.
That's a nap. You went to sleep, nigga?
That's a lot, man.
Yeah.
That's called sleep. It's not called a nap. A nap is an hour.
A nap is if I went to sleep at 3 and woke up at. I guess I'll give you that. I woke up 5 hours later. I give you that.
That's not a nap. Anything over 3 hours is no longer a nap.
I didn't know. You the nap police, Brennan?
I'm just saying.
I mean, technically, I think that's what it says on Google, anyways. But yeah, man, we're finishing at the last 7 episodes of Death Note, the dramatic conclusion of Death Note.
Dramatic it was.
Yeah. You wanna lead us in, Rob?
Hey, before we go into that, I just want to say first and foremost,
we don't have to.
I appreciate my man's holding me down while I was gone. I appreciate that. I want to make sure I give Keenan his props for even though he made me sound
like you sound
crazy, he still held me down. So with that being said, I'm back in full effect. And if you didn't know, you need to know that you are watching or listening to the greatest fucking anime podcast in the entire world.
I appreciate our viewer on YouTube. I think his name is Mike. Always like timestamps every time this comes up.
Oh, he does?
Yeah, he like timestamps. He's got the whole acronym written out with the timestamp.
I love it. The acronym is great. Shout out to Mike, man. He's a really dope dude.
Yeah. All right, so let's hop into this recap because we got a lot to get.
Yeah, 7 goddamn episodes. Well, go ahead.
7 goddamn episodes to get.
About to get on his twister.
Episode 31. The world is watching on TV as N's HQ is ripped apart by Kira supporters. Light is convinced he's won, but N, as always, got some tricks up his sleeve. He just dumps money onto this crowd. Just,
That was so dope.
Yeah.
And they quickly forget about storming the building. Everybody's just like
That's
grabbing fistfuls of cash.
That's what money does right there.
It does. And with a moment to breathe, police rush in, and the SBK are able to disguise themselves and escape without Lisa seeing them with her Shinigami eyes. So it turns out Light didn't have everything locked down as tight as he thought. So later, N reaches out when he's safe to Light and Co. and tells them, hey, if anybody on the team is suspicious of Light, you can still reach out to me. Number's still on. That phone is activated. Light, he turns around and encourages his team to do so. And Aizawa, at this point, strongly considering his options. He's just like, something's fishy here. So eventually, he does reach out to N and gives him some of the info he has on the case, why they were so sure the current L is innocent, but he won't reveal Light's identity just yet. But N is able to figure out who he's talking about anyway, based on the information he gets. So, meanwhile, Light contacts Misa, starts the next phase of their plan, and they're just in time, because Aizawa and Moby and, one of the other detectives head over to their apartment, the next day, to search. And the search turns up nothing. Moby stays behind to keep an eye on Misa, but when Aizawa returns, the team is watching a shocking development on TV as the spokesperson, this Alex Jones dude we've been seeing for a while. It's just, he and all his crew are just killed on live TV, presumably by Kira, but Light is in the room with them, and they're watching Misa. And we hear from Light's VO that Misa's given up her death note again, losing her memory, and they sent off the copy of their death note to this other person, this lawyer named Mikami, who thinks Kira is basically God on Earth. Another one is deception. So the next episode, we learn a little bit more about Mikami as he deletes these criminals. Very much like Light, he seems very smart.
Delete.
He's got a very black and white sense of justice. People are either good or evil, and the evil ones, they gotta go, just to make the world a better place. But the funny thing for him was, if he thought somebody should die, it tended to happen, throughout his life. Even his old high school bullies, and even his mom, who he, had a very strained relationship with.
He's wild. That wasn't a bad relationship. She was telling a mother, that was some motherly advice. That's all that was. Didn't deserve to die for that. That's some bullshit.
Just chill out. Yeah, he's a little unhinged.
Fuck you, Mom.
But it made him think that he was in touch with some kind of higher power. And eventually Kira arrives, and he thinks, this must be God. If I can become some sort of devout follower of him, maybe I'll get noticed by going to all his events. And sure enough, he was. Light sends him a death note with some brief instructions and just basically lets him...
So I have a super quick question. Is Light or this guy worse as a human being? The one who wants his mom dead.
You gotta
I know. I didn't even get that question. I'm sorry. That's my
yeah.
random. I didn't even think of that question until now. I'm sorry.
Remember that question? But remember that question. Yeah.
So he's just running wild, because they can't communicate. Light knows if he reaches out, they'll probably be caught. And there's a new voice of Kira, with the Alex Jones dude out of the picture. Tommy chooses somebody else, and it turns out it's this newscaster named Takada, which is actually Light's ex-girlfriend from college. We met her briefly several episodes ago.
Yeah.
And he announces to the team, right away, hey, I know this girl. We should use this connection. Find out if she knows who Kira really is. But really, he's just hoping to make contact with her, give her instructions. And so they set up a bugged hotel room for them to meet in, claiming, hey, I'm unhappy in my relationship with Misa. I miss you, girl. Let's meet up.
Classic man shit.
Oh, yeah. He's on his fuckboy shit, all through these episodes.
Facts.
Light, he's playing it cool at first, but when Takada gets a call from Mikami, Light manages to get on the phone with him and lets him know, hey, you're talking to the real Kira at this point. And he manages to turn it around, turn off all the recording devices, claiming it's a demand from Kira, but he uses this opportunity to tell Kamada, hey, I'm the real Kira, I want you to join my cause. Meanwhile, his team of detectives are just none the wiser. N flies to Japan while Light and detectives work to install Misa as a spy for them at NHN, the network Takada works at, so they can keep an eye on her. But soon, N calls the team and it's just hey, I'm here to arrest Kira, and I'll only do it by being at his own game, which of course Light takes as a direct challenge.
Of course he does.
off the phone and explains what he's figured out to his partner at the SBK. He's like, and he's got it all about right. He's like, the one thing we're missing is the identity of whoever is carrying out the murders right now. He's just like, Light Yagami is Kira. Somebody's just doing this shit for him right now. And he wants to figure out who, all these people are to bring them to justice, not just kill them because that's what El would have wanted. Later, Light meets up with Takada again. This time, the room is only bugged listening devices, no cameras, which allows them to pass notes back and forth to each other with instructions. And part of Light's instructions to her are he wants her to carry out some of the Kira murders. She's shaken, but accepts. Afterwards, calls Mikami, tells him the instructions, send her 5 pages of the death note, hide the original, still continue writing in the fake one, just like you have. And moves someone from the SBK onto Takada's bodyguard team as a spy while working out, basically to figure out who's working as Kira currently. And it doesn't take him long to notice Mikami showing up at all these different Kira rallies and being a firm supporter, always being the one to grab the mic and ask questions. He's like, this is the guy. So things are really falling into place for him in his investigation. Misa, now none the wiser that anything is going on because she's lost her memory, is getting increasingly jealous of Takada, who notices it and totally lays into her. And the fight for Light's affections is on. They have dinner together, and it's awkward.
That's such a fun dinner.
Misa gets hammered.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Misa just gets hammered and tells Takada that Light plans to propose.
No. He says that Light did propose.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. He's going to propose on the special.
No, she said. No, she said.
He's going to announce.
She's going to announce that they're engaged at her concert.
This is some typical. I think some typical women shit in that sense. This is exactly what happened. You have 2 men that love you, and they're just fighting over you. Well, I'm gonna get the one up on you, and she's not mentally stable at all. Misa's just. No.
And Takada's just like kind of laughing. She storms out, but I think that's a fake because she knows like she's got the leg up on Misa right now. And meanwhile, has another of his team members trolling Mikami and sees that he's been using the death note in broad daylight, just like kills this dude on a train like in front of God and everybody. Though they seem to be gathering a lot of evidence and is worried how the Shinigami will affect how things shake out, his team gets a video of Mikami basically calling out to the Shinigami, and they read the lips that we find out, like, Ryu gave him the death note and just took off, like, hasn't been hanging out with him. He's just like, oh, are you there? Aizawa, on the other hand, is increasingly suspicious of Light and marks some of the notepads in the hotel room for the next meeting, just to see if they're passing notes. At the meeting, Light and Takada talk about Misa and how important she is to Light. And Light explains, hey, I'm stuck with her. But if he had his choice, girl, you would be my
You're
queen.
the only one for me, girl.
Man, classic fuckboy shit again.
It's bad.
Fuckboy of the decade, man.
He's bad.
This is my guy right here.
I bet he is, Ice. I bet he is.
Team Light all the way, bro. For more reasons than
You
one.
say Team Light all the way?
Yeah.
Oh my God, Ice.
He's just adding to the reason why I'm Team Light. Yeah, that's my guy.
Man, out loud though, Takada's just like, hey, obviously we can't be together until Kira's caught, so I'll help you catch Kira and help you out. The police ID him. But after the meeting, Aizawa goes back, checks the notes, sees it basically all been tampered. So at this point, he's fully convinced Light must be guilty, or at least implicit in some of this. He goes to talk with him face to face. And explains, hey, you've got a plan to corner Kira. There's a role for you in that, but basically just kind of chill out for now. The first part of that plan involves basically kidnapping Moby and Misa just before her big performance on NHN, which used to make that big announcement about their engagement. Light is annoyed, but there isn't really much he can do about it right now. Elsewhere, the SBK members tailing Mikami breaks into his gym locker and finds the death note, but no sign of the Shinigami. He just photographs a bunch of pages. He keeps coming back every time he's at the gym, and basically documents everything he's got in the death note and plans to move forward. While Light works with Takada and Mikami to make a plan of his own. Time progresses as the separate teams kind of make their moves. Both En and Light have tricks up their sleeves that they think will take the other by surprise. Giovanni, the detective that's following Mikami, and Takada give the signals to their respective leaders that hey, our part's been played. Soon, En reaches out and asks for a meeting between the teams, saying like, hey, there's something I want to show Light, and they arrange to meet up in several days, specific time, place, and location. and Date, and with End's team bringing their Death Note, and End's team releasing Misa before the meet. Light agrees from their call, that hey, and he figures out that they must know about Mikami, but he seems to already have taken that into account. At the next meeting with Takada, Light gives her the time, date, and location, all that at the meeting, so Mikami can go there and basically kill Nier once and for all. Hopefully, end this whole thing. Soon, though, things go right. A mellow strikes. He just kind of comes out of nowhere, kidnaps Takada, takes her away. On the way to work, he just snatches her right up.
On the way to work.
But his teammate gets cornered by police and just shot up like Swiss cheese for Divine Kira. He thinks he's about to.
I didn't see that coming.
There's none of that.
Man,
I'm surprised.
Yeah. It reminded me of Tony Baker's joke when you keep getting shot, but you keep standing up. He's just like, like go down, man, shit.
Stay down. But luckily for Takada, but not for Mello, she was able to hide away a few pages of the Death Note and uses them to kill her captor. She remembered his name. And she manages to get her phone and call Light for rescue, but Light has other plans. Mikami sees that Takada's been captured as well and makes a move while Giovanni follows. Meanwhile, Light has his team ride to Takada, but Light has taken the backseat and uses that opportunity to fill out the Death Note he's got stored in his watch, and has Takada basically commit suicide and burn up all the evidence.
Cold,
very cold. The day of the meeting arrives between Light's team and the SBK. Misa is released into a ritzy hotel. Aizawa is placed in charge of the team's Death Note. As they arrive, Light seems confident that after this meeting, he'll be the only one left alive with knowledge of the Death Note. As they arrive, N is wearing this mask of L. He explains that, I need to wait half an hour just to make sure nobody's being controlled. Yet time goes by, and he's just like, listen, Kira's assassin is about to show up. He's going to peek through one of these doors or windows. He's going to write all our names down. And whoever's name isn't written in the book is Kira. And Light is just, that's all he can do to not laugh during all this. He's trying not to laugh. But sure enough, Mikami shows up, fills out all the names of the attendees with gusto. Maybe it was a little suspicious.
Delete. He was going hard.
He went, I don't know if I've seen anybody write with that much.
I like it.
Right.
The way he writes names in the book is the most entertaining of anyone else.
Yeah. Facts.
N plans to wait for him to open the door to check if they are dead, and then just kind of take over from there. But here we finally hear Light's master plan in his inner monologue. He knew Mikami would be found out, and basically they tried to tamper with the Death Note. So you have Mikami hide the real deal, so that but just continue writing it, which is what we saw him doing on the train. But what he's doing is sending pictures and names to Takada with her extra pages. She was the one actually carrying out the murders. So it's all this big ruse to basically make this N's team think it's the real deal. So when they tampered with it, when they replaced the pages with fake pages, really Mikami's got the real Death Note stored somewhere else. And Light thinks he's won. All he's got to do is wait 40 seconds for people to start dying. And N calls out to Mikami. He's just like, "Hey, why don't you join us?"
Wait. I love the fact that this whole time Light almost couldn't control himself. That was just beautiful writing right there. Just him, just like, I just want to laugh so hard, and he just kept holding that shit in because he knew he won.
Yeah, and Mikami, he joins in. Basically, refers to Light as God.
God.
The episode ends with Light basically.
Thank you, God.
It looks like I won. However, bit of a premature celebration.
Celebrated too early.
Yo, it was like Light. There's still episode 37 left, right?
Right. They had.
He's like, "Well, I thought this was a 36 episode season."
No, we get one more episode. Like, fuck.
No, we got one more episode.
Gonna lose.
Mikami starts freaking out, saying he did everything God asked him to do. Light has panic in his eyes for the first time, and has his men take Mikami into custody and point out the only name not written in the book is Light's.
Man.
Case closed. This is the dude.
Man.
Light loses his fucking shit at this point. Just starts screaming it's a trap, pointing fingers at everybody, trying to explain his way out of this, but he's clearly out of options. He's back into his corner, just like Ed said. Everyone just starts to turn on him at this point, and we see, when they put the cuffs on him, Light just freaks out, runs. And explains, hey, Mello was the one that sealed it. Once he took Takada, Mikami went to find out where the real Death Note was hidden, and since they had their dude tailing him, and he's like, oh, this is out of his usual routine. He figures there must be something here. So he saw this is out of order, followed him there, took the real Death Note out of this dude's safety security box at the bank, replaced it with an exact copy based on the photos that they took, and the real Death Note was in N's possession the whole time.
Man.
And he can even see Ryu, and he's talking
He's
to him.
like,
He's just like, hey, dude,
what's up, fam? You good? You good over there, Ryu? All right, cool. So back to what we were saying.
Ryu's like, thumbs up. This is great. I'm having a great time. Light finally confesses he's been Kira all along. Gives his villain speech, his monologue about this. I'm God. I was the one that stopped the wars. I was the one that did this. Only I could have, dropped crime globally by 70%. Nobody else could. But Ed Hapley is just like, dude, you're just another fucking serial killer. In desperation, Light just goes for a hidden piece of the Death Note in his watch, but Matsuda, the dude that's kind of just been like the stupid dude, like the Krillin of the team, just finally loses his shit, asks what his dad would think, and just unloads on it. And Light calls his dad a fool and goes to write on the note again, and this time Matsuda just like he empties the clip in him, and it's only basically the rest of the team holding him back, and he doesn't get that headshot. Because
Man.
at that point, Mikami kills himself with a pen. I think it's a little unclear to me if Light actually did write his name down or something, but Light, he's able to escape into chaos, and En's just like, don't worry, let him go. He's going to bleed out. Like, he really can't get far at this point. And from this point, we see Light running away, kind of wondering how he lost, going through all the motions, seeing his life flash before his eyes. And Ryu watches nearby and says, hey, I'm going to complete my promise. I told you when I came here, I would be the one writing your name in my book, and he does exactly that. And it's long before Light collapses on the staircase and finally dies. His
Dramatic music play.
Dramatic music play, roll credits. We see a few some montage of some characters, but that's essentially it. That's the whole thing.
Man. Well, let me ask y'all. I'm sure y'all watch this in the sub, right?
Yeah.
When you get a chance, just go online and Google I guess that last scene, and because I watched it I think sub the first time, and then when I watched it this time I watched it in dub. Bro, both actors murdered this shit, no pun intended. The English actor too, bro.
They did really good. Because I watched a good portion of it. I'm not even gonna lie.
This is one of the best dubs out there. And it's easy because it's not necessarily an action super base. It's really kind of like that. But this particular scene is where it revs up, and you get to see the dynamic between the both sub and dub, and how even the laughs, the craziness, the psychoticness, and him losing it. They both did a fucking great job. So let's get to these questions.
Oh wait, can I just ask my question
Great
first?
job, by the way, Rob.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
No, the question is.
Yeah, great job, Rob.
So the ex Kira. Whatever his name is, the guy who was at all the events and all that kind of stuff, obviously the one who wanted his own mother to die. Is he as much of a sociopath or psychopath as Light himself?
He's worse.
No.
He's worse.
Wait, why, Kenan? Go on, Kenan, go ahead. Why is he worse?
He's worse because he wanted his own mom to die. Light didn't want his dad to die. He wouldn't kill his sister. He had some type of morals. This motherfucker would kill anybody, including his parents. So if Light never showed any type of restraint from killing his sister, then I would say, yeah, it's Light. He's worse. But bro, you want your own mom dead and you're happy about it because she's just like, hey man, maybe this is not kind of right. Maybe you should just kind of think about some shit. That's all she was really saying. She didn't really say you're a bad person. She just kind of was like, hey,
tone it down. You're getting doing a lot of fights at school.
Yeah, tone it down a little bit, buddy. She should fucking die. No. He's a sociopath, a psychopath, a crazy motherfucker. And he was great for this, but he's worse for sure.
Ice,
you don't agree?
No, I think that over time, Light just has done more. And I think it takes a real sociopath to be so intricate and do the things that he's done. I think that he, as far, when you think of, I don't know if you want to get into the definition of everything, but you think about a sociopath, sociopaths are still able to function in the world. Yeah. And I think the way that Light has to the magnitude that he's been able to do far exceeds the way that that homeboy has.
That's fair. Because he's just like a single man, just like going to the gym
Exactly.
Saying, like,
Yeah.
I just gotta make my body ready for Kira, you know.
But here's
Right.
the thing. I'm not saying Light is not a sociopath. I'm saying this is one who's worse. This is all this is.
No,
That's all I'm saying.
That's
Yeah.
why I said that's why Light is worse, because he's still able to function and maneuver at a high level and be around all these people and make all these intricate plans. And he's just dude is just a puppet in his parents. So I think if you granted the mom thing fucked up, but if you are overseeing so much carnage, you're the more of the sociopath.
Okay.
I think I see what you're saying. Like, Light is kind of like a wolf in sheep's clothing. Like, he just blends
Yeah.
in. Whereas this other guy's kind of just like, you can kind of scope this dude is more unhinged from, like, a ways away.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Rob, so wait, that's where you are, Rob?
That's where I'm coming down.
I think that he's worse than Light. He just didn't have the opportunity to prove it. That's what I'll say. If he was the one who got the notebook up front, bruh.
Oh,
that's what I said.
Yes.
I think he's worse than Light.
That's why yeah.
I mean, he was even the one where, like, he put out that announcement, like, oh, I'm going to start killing lazy people,
Yeah.
too. And even Light was just like, this dude's got to chill out.
Yeah.
I got to read this dude.
Yeah, so I think it's not a matter of like what he's done. It's more so what opportunity he's had to do things. So I think he's actually much worse than Light. And if he was the God himself, and he was the first person to refer to Light as God as well, in that sense. And so for me, it's just like that makes him even more dangerous, because that means he would have proclaimed himself a God if he was the one bestowed with the godlike powers in the beginning.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Like, it took Light a while to get to the God side of things. This guy would have immediately been like, I'm God and everyone will die. But I think El would have caught his ass quick. I think El would have caught.
Yeah, he's not. I don't think he's.
El would have caught him in 10 episodes.
I think in the first 5, to be honest.
Yeah.
He
He wouldn't got past that when he made it a closed channel in only one part of Japan.
Yep, that was
like,
it.
He wouldn't have got past that part.
Yep, done. Yo, so let me just piggyback on what you just said. Do you think you would have died when he was like, I'm killing lazy people? Because I know we all have lazy moments. Do you think you're like, all right, now I'm going to reach all my goals? Because it might have been a good thing. It might have been a good thing at that point. Like, I'm going to kill all the lazy people. Now lazy people are like, you know what, man? I got to get to the gym. I got to do all the things I said I wasn't going to do no more.
Yeah.
Facts.
He actually might be motivating people to be a better people in the world. So now we're all better people if you're not lazy.
Yeah,
but it shouldn't be a death sentence. Yeah.
Understandable.
And it's all like, who's lazy?
Yeah.
So subjective.
What specifies it? If it's somebody...
True.
Yeah. Is somebody doing their 9 to 5 but not working on their own goals? Is that lazy? Or is that, because they're working, they're making money. They're just not putting forth the effort in anything outside of that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a loose definition. I don't think any of us would qualify for that.
No, not at all. Yeah.
Because he's just like anybody that's not contributing to the betterment of society. It's like, who's to say?
Who's to say
Who's
that?
the judge of that?
Yeah.
He is, obviously.
I guess so, yeah. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't think I would fall into that definition, but
I would hope so. I'd be like, really? Really?
If Rob was killed by Kira, 2 things would instantly happen for me. One of them, I would instantly question everything I knew about Rob in the sense of like, wait, was he actually a motherfucking serial murderer? And the second one would be, if I found out that wasn't true, then I'll be going after Kira. I'll be like, all right, how do I get on L's team? You know what I'm saying?
You're
I mean, he can fend himself. He a parasite and a ghoul, so I think he'd be all right. That's why he's really getting taken down.
For the record, Rob, if you had coffee right now that you sipped, it would have been the best moment of all time.
You
should been like,
that would have shut the cipher down.
It would have been over.
If you were at the office, you would have had coffee.
I would have fallen out of this chair and cried laughing.
All right. So let's get into our questions that we have. So what would you be talking about while you're waiting to see if you die or not? Like this last particular scene, you're waiting to see what's going to happen. Whether you're, I guess, speak from Light and speak from the other people's point of view in that sense. Brennan?
Well, I thought this question was funny because they just skipped that 30 minutes that they sat in the warehouse where they're just waiting to see if everybody dies.
Your mind's going to be wandering.
For me, I would,
sure.
I'm just like, people like nervously do have like habits. I do 2 things. Like I try to be funny, but I always try to engage conversation. So like my mind doesn't, so I don't follow within my mind. So I'll be in there just acting a fool. I'll be like, so if this is our last 30 minutes, you're a woman. B? Like you trying to, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you trying?
Okay, Mr. Me Too.
I'm just saying.
Mr. Me Too out
Mr.
here.
Me Too. I'm
Shit.
just saying, like,
Fuck it, we about to die anyway.
End of the world moment. End of the world moment. We're all gonna die. I'm gonna shoot my shot. I'm like, yo, girl, I know this might be the end, but we can finish in style. You know what I'm saying? We can go over in the corner. Like, it's whatever you want. And then that would just start.
Delete.
For me, worst case scenario in that moment is that we all have an interesting conversation about how I'm an idiot. Like that, at least we're talking instead of standing here awkwardly like, well, Britta, I can't believe you said that, blah, blah. Hold on, guys, let the woman answer. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Let her say what she want to say. Let her talk. Like, give her space.
So what does everybody else do during that time? We just watching you fuck? Or like, what's going on?
I'm not worried about y'all. This is for me. Y'all can do whatever you want to do. Be impressed. Learn something. Take some notes. I don't care. Like, this is for me and her.
Take some notes.
Hey, you might learn something.
Yeah, I don't know about any of that because like we're all stuck in the same room. You can't leave. Like,
If I'm about to die, I don't care if who's watching. I don't care. I'm about to die. Like
I'm saying I'm not watching it. No, that's not happening.
Yeah.
Rob would be like. Rob would be like.
I don't think he would. I would say no. I wouldn't cock block, but I just feel like this guy is typical
What the
Brandon.
fuck wrong with it? Yeah, I like that.
Okay, I got a question.
And I might tell you to hurry up. So
Are you mad at that thought process?
No. I said I will hope you finish fast so I can see if I can get seconds.
Wait, Keenan sloppy seconds. Keenan in the house.
What are
You about to die?
The hair is gone. With hair, Keenan would never take sloppy seconds.
Never in his life. It's first or nothing, motherfuckers.
Hilarious.
So Rob, what?
I get the impulse. I'd probably just be like, anybody catch the game? Like,
That's exactly what I would do.
Yeah.
I just like talk about TV.
Yo, talking about that game. That game last night was incredible, but I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was.
Celtics in 7.
Wait, what? We're talking about the Lakers. We're talking about
I know
the
you're
Lakers.
talking about the Lakers. I know.
But
I know. I'm just saying Celtics in 7.
You know you on bullshit right now. You know you on bullshit.
Celtics in
Just
7.
for the record, guys, I want to put this out
Jason
there.
Tatum.
I put this out there is that I gave Ice a bet, an opportunity to take my money on his own beliefs, and he said no because he knew his ass was wrong.
Because he doesn't believe it.
He doesn't believe the own words off his mouth.
He's saying
Celtics in 7.
He just says things to oppose Brittany. So he just say this to oppose you. Because he doesn't believe it. Because you made the bet.
I said that before Brendan said anything about them.
Yo,
Celtics in 7.
But you keep saying even though they're down so much.
And you won't make the bet.
And you still saying it. Like
same thing. The Nuggets was down too. Look where they are now.
Make the bet.
They got the Lakers right where they want.
Make the bet, Ice.
Exactly.
Make the bet,
Exactly.
Ice. Make the bet, Ice.
Hey, I said what I said. Celtics in 7, baby.
That's what I thought.
Maybe that's what we'd be talking about. Just taking
Exactly. That's what it would. I'd be doing something. Yeah. I think that would be mine. That would be mine. Is like, like I want the one last brew with the boys. Like, I don't really drink like that, so I think the best way to go out is like one of my favorite things to do is go back and forth with y'all. So I would just come with a hot take. And then we just go out fucking talking
By hot
shit to
take,
each
you
other.
mean stupid opinion that doesn't make sense, that makes us want to argue with you? Is that what you mean?
No, not at all. Hot take with facts.
Oh, cool. Like
Facts.
Celtics in 7?
We'd be doing this, and then all of a sudden, just like,
Yeah, did somebody die? I'm like, yeah.
You know what? For me,
Can't respond.
because we knew we were coming into the situation. I would have brought either some cards for spades or dominoes, and I would have been like, all right, man. Now we gotta wait. Let's just set up this game of dominoes or whatever like that, man, and just play it out, talk some shit.
I wouldn't.
I wouldn't
be able to play no dominoes.
I mean,
Somebody say dominoes.
you can sit there and Oh, you'll be
Gotcha.
fucking, so don't worry
I'll
about
be
it. Bro.
fucking.
You'll be over there fucking while we're playing down. We're playing down.
He'll be playing with his action figures. Like, fucking weird ass scene.
Yo, Brent, no, they will be sitting there mimicking you guys having sex with his little action figures.
Hell yeah.
From a child, dude.
You're terrible. You would die a sex offender
How does that make me a sex
Exactly.
offender?
because you
Because you got your dick out in front of a 15-year-old.
I say
in front of
close
your
your
child.
close your eyes in.
It doesn't matter. They're in
It's
the
still
vicinity.
present.
They're in a certain
All
distance.
right, take it out of here. I don't.
Yeah,
I'll figure out it.
They're throwing the cuffs
Damn.
on the
And you calling me Ice-Stein, you out here trying to fuck in front of little boys and
Hey
shit.
man, I figured
the
that
fuck
out.
wrong with you?
I figure it out. I don't know. Like I just be like, all right,
That's sick.
somebody
You
take
are
the kid.
sick.
Somebody take the
You're
kid
on,
to the corner.
you're
I
on
don't care.
record saying you would fuck in front of a child.
You see something? I trying to get that shit off him so
So
bad,
bad.
nigga. You trying to find
Anything.
so many
Anything.
things.
Yo, for the record, Ice, you talk all this shit trying to get that off of you, but like, what were you saying earlier about like L Light is like Team Light? Like, he's not necessarily Epstein, but he's fucking close. Like,
How?
the way he's using these women for what he wants.
He's a fuckboy.
Maybe a one scene. I don't know.
Of age women
Alright,
in which he hasn't had
different
sex
things.
with.
Ice-Stein.
No, he's not a Steen.
Ice-Stein.
He's not forcing himself on nobody.
Ice
manipulating.
And he's not fucking anybody either.
Ice-Stein.
He smashed
No, you
Misa
got-
and
you-
he
He
smashed
definitely
You-
smashed Misa. Definitely smashed Misa.
You on record saying you would fuck in front of a 15-year-old boy.
I actually
That's all
never
gotta
said
say.
that. I just said that I would aim to have sex before I died, is what I said.
And then once Keenan made you aware of it, you said you would still do it.
I said I figure out how to make it happen. That's what I said. I didn't say like
Double down.
I said I would
He
figure
doubled
it
down.
out.
He doubled down.
You're like,
I'm just
who's
saying.
taking notes?
Yeah.
Right.
Anyway.
All right.
What's next?
Next question. All right. So, out of the three investigators, L, Near, and Mello, if they all had a crack at Light from day one, who do you think catches Light? Me personally, I think I'm going back and forth between. I don't even know, because I think with Mello, I think he might actually do some reckless shit to where he might even try to kill somebody just to get the shit done. So I think if he had a strong sense of Light being Kira at some point, and he had got a chance to get his hands on him, I think he would do something to where he would do something dirty to him and possibly even get him killed. And be like, oh shit, well, it looks like we killed him or not. Like it does. Like I could see him just doing something a little bit more reckless because he is the wild card out of all three of them, and he's the more he's more emotional than all the other two. So I think in that perspective, that's be the reason why he might end up winning over those two, not necessarily being the smartest, because he is very smart. He made a good move, made a power play. But that's what I'm saying why he would, because I see him making a play being like, well, fuck it. I think this is it. It's the only chance. If I got to kill him, I'm going to fucking kill him. And he'll do it. Rob?
Yeah, I can see that. I do, because since he's the only one of the three that actually ended up using the death note at all, like N and L, Near and L never did. Mello made good use of that shit. He killed a bunch of people. So I could see him. I feel like he's maybe a little too reckless. I feel like Light would have maybe baited him into a situation of a trap where he might have been able to get him killed.
True.
I'm like, obviously I know how things worked out with L, but he didn't have it figured out. Like he didn't have the time to prove the lie about the rules. But I think if he had gotten to the 13-day rule thing being fake, it would have been over. Like he would have got the job done. I mean, I even said like, hey, Mel and I had to combine to like, basically get to the same level as L.
I believe the word was surpass.
Surpass. But so I would go with L. He's my guy on the show. I'm definitely team L, so I like him. I would go with him.
Ice.
Yeah, definitely L for all the reasons that Rob said, because I mean, for them to for Mello and Near to even be successful and got as far as they did, it was off of L's blueprint, and all the stuff that he did. I mean, off the back, I just referenced it, but a couple episodes in, I knew he was a cold killer when he just did it on a closed circuit. I'm like, okay, this is he know what he's doing, and all of the traps and stuff that he planted on Light. And granted, he took his fair share of L's, but having the whole task force, all the measures. Yeah, the amount of L's that he took some L's on himself, but overall, like his whole fight and even him dying, he would have got him. He would have got him. He was right there. And Light knew it, and I think that's why he moved. Light did what he did because he knew it. Like he was on his ass.
Yeah,
I'm taking Mello, and it's for the same reason that Keenan did. Is that they were all in that same school because they all had comparable intelligence. I think all of them were intelligent enough to do it. But who's willing to not give a shit about the rules? The rules are what stopped Light. The rules are what almost stopped N from catching him. Mello's not going to give a fuck about those rules. And that's the difference between the three of them.
Right.
That's the big difference. So I personally believe they're all smart enough to do it, but Mello's the only one that has the balls to actually take whatever it takes to do it. So that's where my money is on if only one of them had a chance to do it from day one, Mello's going to do it. And like nothing's going to stop him.
Yeah, and that's why I was saying from the beginning. Like they all were like, all right, you guys three separately are going to investigate this. Because it's easy to say, well, they got off L's plan. It's because that's where the story started. But if they all started from the beginning, they would all build their own case their own type of way. And that's why, I'm in agreement with that. But I don't deny L either. L was literally right there. He just said,
all three of them figured it out. Let's not figure. Let's right. All three of them were just like, Light's a problem. All three of them were like, it's probably this motherfucker. So it's not a matter of can they figure out who it is. Can they prove it or can they do something about it? Mello is going to do both of those things. Like Mello would go just kill him. Mello would just be like, hey, you just go to this house, kill him, and this will be over.
But at the same time, is that solving the case though? We only know that he's going to solve it by killing them because we know who Light is, or who Kira is. But to the outside world,
I don't know if
they wouldn't have known that. It just would have looked like a senseless.
Probably know. To be honest, like what are they going to tell the outside world?
Yeah,
I was wondering.
Yeah, they didn't.
But it would have looked like a senseless killing versus evidence and witnesses that Near got or L or Light would have. Or L would have got, like all of the precautions and stuff that he took for everybody to see that Light.
He would have still had evidence. He would have killed him, but he still would have had evidence built up.
He would have just killed him.
Yeah, he still would have had evidence plant.
I still think Light probably would have. I don't know. He just was so easy to provoke. Like that was his problem. It would have been interesting to see.
Yeah. Okay. Next question. If you were going to make a season 2 of Death Note, what would it look like, Rob?
Well, I thought this show kind of left a lot of things unanswered, or kind of left some stuff hanging out there. Just as much as like Misa's still out there. Like during the montage at the end, like I don't know if they were implying that maybe she jumped off the hotel or something like that, or she committed suicide, or after she found out Light died or something. But I would see it as maybe like she wound up like maybe Light had some spare pages like stored somewhere, like packed away just in case of emergency. Like if she's going through his stuff and she like touches the pages, gets her memory back, and it's just like on a revenge tour, and now she's just like going ham on everybody. Or what I think would be really interesting is kind of to see if some kind of from the opposite side. Like on this one, we got to see it through the eyes of mostly through Light, through the eyes of the killer. I think it would be an interesting show to see it as like a whodunit, like see it primarily through the eyes of the investigator, not know who it is, and kind of see these things come out. I think that'd be an interesting twist on what they kind of did with this season. Kind of having all the answers and just watching everybody else figure it out. I think it would have been really fun to like have a show where you're like, oh shit, you're rooting for people to find out who it is, and maybe everybody has their own suspicions. Maybe somebody out there is like got an axe to grind with what Kira did, but they wind up with the Death Note and start taking their revenge on people, that they found, were guilty for not getting Kira in time, or like they take it out on Misa or something like that. So that's what I would do.
Brandon?
I'd say I actually really like Rob. I had two ideas. One of them is, both of them are Rob's, but variations of what Rob just said. One of them is that like, one of them is just like actually just do this whole show again. And like I said, from that other perspective. But like, you know, I think this is one of the few animes that actually works well as a live action. And so like, I would say do a live action version of this and let there still be a light, you know, just change his fucking name. And it'd be almost the exact same story, but the entire thing is happening from like the perspective of like the guy that was the right-hand man of L, you know what I'm saying? Or the guy who runs that school, you know what I'm saying? And just have him be more involved with the investigation this time around. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if you did that, that would be crazy. That show would be ridiculous to be from that perspective. Because you never know what the fuck's going on, but you have all these strong theories and we get to be in L's head, which was obviously the smartest person. Light was very smart, but Light also had the power of a fucking death god on his side. You know what I'm saying? Like he's like, yeah, he's outsmarting these motherfuckers only because he knew shit they didn't. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't outsmarting them because he was smarter than they were. They were definitely smarter than him. And so I would say that would be a good show. And then if you had to do a season 2 that continued on in the same timeline after this ended, then I would actually do something along the lines of, I would actually turn In into the new Kira. Because let's say like, it's like, go forward like 30 or 40 years. And In has been trying to solve these cases for his whole life and trying to fix the world. And he's like, out of all my years, the only thing that I've actually seen to affect the world in a positive way is actually what Kira did. And now that people know Kira's been gone for the last 10, 20, 30 years, you know, all my stuff doesn't matter. I'm a drop in the bucket. I still have the Death Note. You know what I'm saying? Like, I still have the Death Note. I can bring Kira back and then go from that kind of perspective of saying In becomes a new Kira, and then the school itself has to take him down again with the new crop of the new students. That would be a good show.
That'll be interesting.
Interestingly enough, the one rule they didn't figure out that wasn't fake was if you burn it, then if you touched it or used it, you die. So they're going to hang on to these death notes. They're not going to get rid of them, because if they do, everybody that touched it, everybody on those police teams, they think if they destroy it, they're all dead.
Yeah.
Right.
Nice.
I think when I think it'd be really cool to do more so the second season. It'd be like a prequel, and you get to see like the lives of the Shimigagis. And just see what even got them to that point, or just their life. Like, obviously not them shooting craps, but like something happens to where they have to be boots on the ground, or they have to, it can be like two sides of like the guys that want to keep people alive and then the ones that want to kill them, or they have some type of civil unrest but amongst each other. I feel like that'd be pretty cool. And the humans would be like an auxiliary thing, but it'll really be, you will see all of the guys, and you can see Ryuk, and you can see, you know, this would probably be before Miso's Demigagi died and stuff, like, and you can just see like that whole battle and how they even got to that part, or just like a fight amongst those guys. I think that'd be really dope.
Yeah, that'd be cool. What about you, Keith?
I just wanted to hear you guys' perspective, because I ended up doing some research, and I ended up finding out about the continuation to this. The guy did like kind of like a one-off comic of and he ended up making it. I guess it's just technically canon over and stuff like that. So there's a few things. It was like there was a theory that Light is not actually he died, but he turned into a Shinigami, which would be actually pretty cool. Which is what I would want to see if, you know, they say people they supposedly go in purgatory, they don't die and go to heaven or hell, but they turn into a Shinigami. And that's how the Shinigamis are kind of born or whatever like that. So either seeing their type of history or seeing him be the new one and manipulate his way and seeing his plan go to fruition again. And he's still battling against Anir. And it's kind of like, this guy, I can't get rid of this guy. Kind of how like Light felt with L. It's like, I really can't get rid of L. He's still in my life by all these other people. So if that theory is real, it'll be great. But
That would be really cool.
yeah, but the one-off was pretty cool. I won't get too much into it, but like another guy another Shinigami drops a Death Note, and they kind of go from there. And it seemed like it was okay. If you wanted to look it up on YouTube, you can. I didn't want to give too much away because I'm a spoiler.
Appreciate that.
Wow, thank you. Finally,
Appreciate it.
I don't be spoiling stuff. I just be saying I'll take the spoil. So is Light's body's equivalent? All the people that he's murdered, is this equivalent to all the other anime characters that we watched that didn't get physical? So pretty much like, is his body's, all the deaths that he's stacked up, is it equivalent to somebody that was actually fighting? I guess Goku didn't do too much killing, but I guess somebody from maybe Naruto or something like that. Ice.
Not at all. I don't think it's equivalent because he ain't out there doing the work. I think that from a perspective, he got bodies and he got the mindset and he really with the shits. But like, is one of those face offs. It's like if him and Yamcha got into a fight, Yamcha would beat the brakes off his ass. Like, but it's like if he like Death Note, okay, like he like you have Yamcha, then you have Light, no Shigami eyes, then he's getting his ass whooped because he don't know his name. So it's just it is. I would say no, not at all. Just because they was out there in the streets, it's just like you give, you got the generals and stuff, but the people that's out there doing the work, I feel like I show them more love than the people that's out on the sidelines. Like that's dope. You put together a plan, and your plan was executed well, and you won, but you got to show love to the people that's out there, and I don't think his bodies are equivalent. Like he wasn't out there shooting. You wasn't out there shooting in the gym, so. No, I think that the people that's out there physically fighting, the Gokus, the Narutos, the Gones of the world, their bodies stack up more than Light's.
I mean, me personally, I think that given the chance to having to kill somebody face to face, he would. And I think that as a regular human being that doesn't have any powers, that'll be way harder than ever having a special being to kill somebody. Like just to blow somebody up, that's pretty simple. If Light had to kill somebody, which I think he pretty much said he would have to physically go in there and probably either strangle or murder somebody, which I think is a whole different beast. So I'm not going to say it's necessarily equivalent, but I'm not going to also just write him off like it's just like it's nothing. But I guess I was still leaning on the side of the anime action characters. Their bodies stack up more because they did have to do it. But Light ain't no bitch to me. I think he would still murder somebody if he needed to. Brennan?
No, I mean, I think that comes down to like how if you ever seen The Raid or The Raid 2, The Raid Redemption.
Yeah,
classics. That's the scene where Mad Dog,
I think it's so funny how you always able to reference that movie so frequently.
It's because it's one of my favorite pieces of content I've ever ingested in my life, and it changed me forever. But I think
incredible.
There's a scene in there where in the first Raid Redemption where Mad Dog brings one of the police chief, the police sergeant, into a room, and he's just like, he has him at gunpoint, and then he puts the gun down and he looks at him and just like, I never like using these things. It's too easy. It's like it's like going and getting groceries or taking out the garbage. Like you just pull the trigger and people die. That's not real. This is real. What I'm doing right now is my hands in the camera. Shows him the hands and proceeds to give him the hands. Like, good Lord, he gives him the hands. But I say that to say that there is a huge difference between pulling a trigger and cutting someone's throat. There's a huge difference.
Absolutely.
There's a huge difference. There's a huge difference between eating a hamburger and killing a cow. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, I think the ones that get it dirty, I don't doubt that Light would have the ability to do it because he just doesn't give a fuck and killed the woman that loved him without even a second thought, let his father die angrily as he didn't help him to stay, help hide his name and kill L. So I don't doubt that Light would have the ability to do it in the sense of like the wherewithal or like I can physically press, pull a trigger. But I don't think Light's the kind of person that's going to be able to like slice a bunch of throats either, simply because he just physically just get his ass whooped. So shit, I lost the question and everything I just said. What was the direct question?
Is it equivalent? Is it equivalent?
No, it's not equivalent.
Is his body?
It's not equivalent. I think it's different when you're literally writing a name on a page. You don't have to witness a death. You don't have to look at them in the eyes. You don't have to feel the pain of the people around them as they die, if there are other people around them, and the judgment of the people for you when you did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's a lot of emotions that go into killing someone, I assume, that, Rob might be to tell us more as a ghoul. But there's a lot of emotions going, a lot of emotions that go into killing someone that don't just directly involve you or the person that you killed. So I'd say it's not equivalent at all.
Rob?
I agree it's not equivalent, especially like when you consider like the body of work versus another body of work. That being said, I think Light definitely does have it in it to strangle somebody out or slit somebody's throat. And I think there are at least two occasions that I think are on that level. It's just for the most part, he did it in his room eating a bag of chips or whatever. So you can't. Those like go out the window. But when he killed Ray Pember on the train and looked that man in the eyes as he died on the tracks, and then ran into his mourning fiance later, played her like a fucking fiddle, and then told her to go march off and kill herself. Where he's just like, "Where are you going? I thought we were going to go talk to Al. What's happening? What are you doing?" That dude definitely has it in him.
Where are you going?
Where are you going? What happened?
I thought we were going.
Thank you, Rob.
Just for the record, Rob, you're going to hear me say that later when we play Super Smash Brothers today.
All right. Noted. Put it in my little notebook.
All right. So next
Put
question.
his name.
Next question. If you were on a task force, would you have suspected Light, and would you do anything about it, Brennan?
Obviously, I would suspect Light. Like everything circles around this dude, and he's obviously smarter than the rest of us. Like I easily recognize people that are smarter than me. It's not that hard to do. Just like, yo, like you thought of some shit I wouldn't have thought of. You know what I'm saying? On a consistent basis. It's pretty easy to figure that out. You're like, oh, wow. Or you didn't say something when you knew something that I would have probably said something. You know, it's like there's just little things. You're just like, oh, wow. You're over. For example, I think Rob is smarter than me. And I tell him that all the time. He disagrees, but I'm just like, Rob has one of the biggest brains of any human being I've ever met. Yeah, okay. You got a big ass head too. Well, all I have to say is that I would be suspicious, and that suspicion will make me terrified. Would I do anything about it? Fuck no. What I would try to do is get off that goddamn task force and live my life peacefully and not harm anyone as a crime in any way, form of crime, because that's the only way I stay safe in that moment. Especially if I'm like, I'm pretty sure this motherfucker's Kira. I'm like, well, that's so crazy. The only people that get killed are people who are doing horrible crimes, or the people that try to stop him from doing those horrible crimes. And now he's right there. So, no, I'm good. I'm heading out. Especially with my if I felt I had a chance because I'm as smart or as cunning or whatever, then maybe. But if I'm like this motherfucker's smarter than me and has the ability to kill me, I'm just saying tapping out. I'm good.
Ice.
It'll come down to how much am I willing to, risk my life? I think that, it's easy to say do what Brennan did. I think that's the easy way out of that situation.
Which I would take.
And lives will still be lost.
That's fine.
But I do think if I'm really on some martyr shit, and if I really think that I can catch him, I would try to put something together to where I would, first and foremost, I would be on to him. That would be really easy to see, just by how he goes about things, and especially when he got on the task force and when he, was that close to me, and how, he was on the same level of AO from a mental, toughness standpoint and just an intelligence standpoint. I'm like, okay, you hiding in plain sight. And I think with that, I would have known it was him. But I think I would have done something to him to where I was always around him, to where I would push him in a situation to where kind of like the gun against their head situation with his dad is like, you're going to have to kill me. But I would make sure there's an audience to where you would have to do that. And I would be in on it. I would tell everybody hey guys, I'm going to put him in the pressure cooker and he's going to have to kill me. And I might die, but at least you guys will know that he's Kira. And that might be even from just a beating his ass type of, situation, or putting some thought into it. And I mean, the gun thing was a good thing, was a good idea, but I would really go all the way through with it to the point where we have somebody there and we can fake kill them or something like that, to where we actually start dropping bodies around him and really force his hand to where he has to kill me. And then I would die, but then everybody would know that he's, everybody would know that he's cured.
Rob?
I do think I would have suspected him eventually. I think the part where I probably would have been like, what the fuck are we talking about, is when he showed up and was just like, maybe I am Kira, but I just don't know it. I would have been like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That doesn't make any goddamn sense. And also the fact that, like you pointed out, everything always seems to come back to this dude. Like every person that every other outside person that comes into this investigation is just like, hey, what's up with this Light Yagami dude? I'd be like, that fucking tracks. Like, everybody, as soon as N was just like, hey guys, if Light was ever suspected of whoever current Alice was ever suspected of being Kira, like, give me a call. I would have picked up that phone immediately. Like, maybe he kills me, I don't know, but like, I probably would have played it cool and then like, no, let me call that number because this is like too many coincidences. Too many coincidences. Like, obviously they had the rules, the fake rules that they were led to believe were real. They had, that incident with the gun that they thought, made him innocent. But obviously this is a smart dude, so maybe he can figure some shit out. I don't know, but as soon as like another person, like 5 years later, independently was just like, hey, Light Yagami might be the guy, I'd be like, what?
All right,
he's the guy.
It's been 6 years.
Yeah. For me, I don't know. I just don't like. I would have suspected him for sure, but I feel like they talk too much at times, or talk too much near him at times. Because remember when they said something about, I think he might be in, and Light was kind of like standing there. He's like behind a door, like in a room with a door adjacent. Coffee. It's like, bro, what are y'all do? I'm not saying shit in front of this motherfucker. I'm gonna be playing naive the whole time. Be like, gotcha, bitch. Like, I'm not gonna sit there and give him any type of one leg up. If I think it's him, he has the opportunity to write our names in the death note and kill us. He's never gonna know that I know shit. I'm gonna always be the one that's just like, yeah, Keenan's he's the village idiot out of this one. Like, what's the dude's name that shot him at the end? What's his name?
Oh, Matsuda.
I would have played like him the whole fucking time, but knew everything.
Or just riding for him the whole time, like, no way he's a killer. No way he's a killer.
Act like he's using me, and then I would have been like, bitch, gun to his neck. No, I was on you the whole time.
Or put him in a situation where he felt comfortable giving me the death note. Something,
exactly. So Mikama, that's his name, right? The delete. He's a very dangerous guy, but they show a little bit of his history, right? Who do you think is more dangerous? Do you think the bully's more dangerous, or the person that gets bullied when they grow up? Because he was bullied a lot growing up, and then you see how he turns out. And they show a lot of time when people that get bullied, when they grow up, there's always something a little off about them. So who do you think is a more dangerous person? The person that's doing the bullying when they get older, or the person that got bullied when they grow up? I had a discussion with my lady, and we talked about it. I was like, honestly, the person that gets bullied, man, I feel like they're a very dangerous motherfucker. I feel like a lot of times the actual bully gets humbled at some point in their life, and they kind of and not all time, but sometimes they get checked. The person, you're the bully?
No, I'm just saying I volunteer to go next.
Okay. And the person that gets bullied, man, a lot of times they just have this like revenge mindset. Like, even if somebody's not even out to get them or trying to push them over, they're just like, nah, I'm gonna go and do this. And you saw this motherfucker kill his own mom, man. So the person that gets bullied, in my opinion, Brennan, since you wanted to go next.
Hurt people. I believe that I believe that they are one and the same. To say the bully and the victim are different is I think they're the same person. It's a matter of when they got bullied. So the bully who comes in initially is bullying these kids is probably being bullied by somebody at home, or they're bullied by the society, or bullied by something else, and taking out those frustrations on those kids.
Wait, great note, great sketch. Yeah. It's a sketch by Key and Peele that shows that.
Yeah. So for me, and so for me, I think this question doesn't really make sense. And it's that they are the same. So they're both just as dangerous as the other. It just depends on when you encounter them.
Okay, so fuck my question. Rob?
I do see what Brennan's saying.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I get it.
But I also see what you were saying, what you and your girl were talking about, Keenan. It's like, I agree. Like, I've had some people, I wouldn't necessarily say I was like super bullied or anything in high school, but like, I had some people that gave me a hard time, and they, for the most part, a lot of them would like end up reaching out on Facebook, not necessarily like with a message or anything like that, but they'll send a friend request, like, which I never would have done to them. Mm-hmm. And most of the time they just seem like, like just some dude that just, I don't know, likes to hunt and fish now or something. Like they all just kind of got quiet, and like they all seem to be on some like personal journey. Like now, you know what I mean? Like,
somebody knocked their ass out, bro. I'm telling you. Somebody jaw check, chin check.
you're not wrong. Like, I remember there was this one dude that used to give me a hard time. I never really fucking thought much of it, because I was just like, whatever, dude. Like, this is ridiculous. I'm not going to put any stock in what you have to say. And then I remember, like, we were on the bus to, like, graduation, and he got mocked so bad by somebody else that he left, like, the bus crying and, like, screaming. And, like, so I saw, like, even what Brennan was talking about, where, like, there was somebody else that was coming down on him, you know? So, yeah, I think you're right. But that being said, I see what you're saying, Keenan, that, yeah, absolutely there could be people that, you know, maybe they had that hurt in them at a younger age and they were able to work through it, you know, and so when they get older, if they were the bully, maybe they realize their wrongs, whereas, like, somebody who gets bullied maybe feels justified in their pain, like, you know, this was something that was done to me, and then they take that anger out on other people as they get older. I could absolutely see that.
Nice.
First and foremost, I'll say that bullying is trash as fuck. Like, any form of bullying is garbage. I spent a good portion of my life, anybody that knows me from St. Louis or any point in my life, a majority of the fights that I got into with people, majority of the times I had to whoop somebody's ass, it was because they was bullying somebody in one form or another. I spent, like I said, a good portion of my life sticking up for people against bullies. I had my run-ins with bullies, but overall, people knew I had hands, so they kind of left me alone. But I feel like Keenan's question is valid. I feel like there is two different sides to it, and I do feel like the people that get bullied, they are much more dangerous than the bully, because those bullies, once they get humbled, they move forward with their life and just be calm. Like, they're usually okay. But the people that keep getting bullied, like, they internalize that shit, because once that bully leaves, it don't take long to realize. Like, people can put up facades for so long until they fold again. Like, if somebody getting bullied in California and then they move to New York, they can try to be tough for a minute, but then they'll just turn. Then they'll get soft again and get bullied again. So it'll be a continuation of getting bullied, and then they would just internalize that stuff more and more to either they get in a corporate position or they get in any type of power. They'll try to fight. Not fight. They'll try to, raise hell on everybody that's done it. I've been in situations like that too, where, like, people would not even be in a bully thing, but people get made fun of by athletes and stuff. And then now, certain bosses of companies, like, if you the manager, and then, like, oh, you used to play sports, now they have a vendetta against you and they're bullying you because, like, they're not giving you extra hours, or they're picking on you about something, or, like, if somebody needs to go do a shitty job, hey, Ice, go clean the toilets, because all my life I was, fucked with by athletes, and you are athletes, so you give off that same energy. Even though I didn't do anything to you, I'm still going to fuck with you. So, I mean, that comes in different forms. So it's not even close. Because the bullies, I feel like, at some point, like we were talking about, they get dealt with and then they stop. The people that are bullied, they are hurt, and they keep that, and they internalize it, and they wait for their chance, however it looks, to keep it going.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, and I've seen that before too. I've seen that literally that bully person, like, treat the I mean, in comedy that kind of happens a lot. A lot of comedians don't like Dane Cook, because they feel like he was that guy that might have bullied them in high school, and now they're the person, and they don't want to. They just fucking hate him just because.
Facts.
So next question: do you remember a time when someone screwed up or dropped the ball on you, and you just lost it, like when Light flipped out on Mikama for screwing up his plan, because he fucking snapped? Rob, have you? Yeah.
I do have a particular story. I don't remember if I've told this story. I've carried it with me all these years. I remember I went to go visit some cousins one time. Like, we were hanging out. Like, I just got, like, I don't remember if I had, like, gotten some money from, like, doing small, like, mowing lawns or something like that. But I just somehow come up into a bunch of, like, I just got a whole bunch of, like, Pokemon cards. And I had, like, part of that was, like, I had, like, the shiny Blastoise, which I was, like, super pumped about, because that was, like, Squirtle was my favorite. I had, like, all these new cards. I was showing them off to my cousins, like, yeah, these are Pokemon cards. Like, this is how we play the game. So we were staying with them for a weekend, and it was a stack, like, maybe, like, 2-3 inches thick of cards. And I remember, like, I put them in my pocket in my shorts that night, and, like, kind of, changed into my pajamas or whatever, like, slept. It was time to go, like, a few days later, and I'm packing up my clothes, and I'm like, I can't find those shorts anywhere, and I know they've got the cards in them.
Oh, shit.
Man.
So I'm like, where the hell did they go? Like, what's going on? And one of my younger cousins was just like, I think maybe somebody's coming through here doing laundry or something like that. They might have gotten like picked up, and I was like, no. And like I ran down into the basement, opened up the washing machine, pulled them out, and like pulled out the shorts, and in the pocket was just like a soggy mess of just like cards that had been like ripped up. It is like the one time in my life I like looked up at the heavens and just went, ah! I just lost it. And luckily the cousin that did it had like gone out that morning because he had to like go to some camp or something like that, so he was gone. It was his poor little brother was there, and he was there just like watching me just like go Super Saiyan in the basement or whatever. And yeah, that was just like, I still carry that with me. I got a binder for my cards after that. I did not put that shit in my pocket. I still, to this day, anytime I'm doing laundry, I check every pocket, every pair of jeans,
condition,
shorts, or whatever, just to make sure there's absolutely nothing in there, because that tore my soul out of my body.
That will humble you. That happened. Not like that, but that happened with me with money. I was like, oh fuck! But it wasn't. I'm sure it wasn't as dramatic as that. Vernon?
God damn.
Shit. I'm just in Rob's story right now. I was so into Pokemon cards. I actually had a cousin steal Pokemon cards from me one time. And I had that same thing.
Damn, why your cousins always stealing from you?
Well, it's more like, because the thing is, it's because I have so many. Like I literally, I have such a big family that there's a percentage game you're playing. So like the vast majority of my family is fantastic. But there's a bad, the more apples on the ground, the higher the chance you're gonna have a few bad ones. So, yeah, I've experienced that. Fuck, what was the question again, Rob? Like I was in Rob's story because I'm just like, I would be so mad. Keenan?
It was basically, yeah. Keenan, can you just read?
Well, yeah. Do you remember a time where someone screwed up or dropped the ball and you lost it, just like when light flipped out on Mikama?
Man, there's been so many times. Honestly, I got nothing right now. Come back to me, man. Like I'm still in Rob's story. Like Pokemon was my life, and I'm just like I would have lost my shit. I would have completely lost my shit. So
I did. I absolutely lost my shit that day.
Ice.
I think the worst. It was unintentional, but it still got me hot, and I still had to go off on them. So freshman year of college, I'm in my dorms, and I'm the dude next to me, the dude that was my next door dorm mate, I guess. He was a French dude, and oftentimes he would leave his door open, so I had to walk past his door to go to my room. And he would always leave his door open, and he'd be like, "Ice, what's up?" And then like when I would take girls to my dorm and stuff, I would always stop and be like, "What's up, bro?" And then the girl would be with me, and then she'd say hey to them. So like it's freshman year, I'm out here fucking all the bitches. So it was one girl that I've been trying to get for a minute. Like she ran track with me, and I was trying to get her for the longest time. Like everybody, like she was not going for it because usually people would be like, "Oh yeah, you run track, all this, you look good, whatever that." But like she's like, that don't mean nothing. We do the same shit. Like fuck out of here. Like I really had to work on my game, and then it finally came the point when I was about to fuck, and I'm walking to my room with her, and then I stop and talk to him. He's like, "Ice," because he had a bunch of friends over, and I'm talking to him with the girl, and he claims he didn't see her, but I stop and talk to him like, "What's up, man? What's going on, dog?" He said, "Ice, I envy you." He's like, "I envy you because you always have the most beautiful girls come to your room." He was like, "Every time I see you, different girl, different girl, different girl, different girl, different girl." And I said, "Yo." She just looked at me like, "Are you serious? Like different girl, huh?" Because the whole time I'm like, because you like you a player. I'm like, nah, I ain't no player. Like I'm only with you. Like I'm trying to focus on you. Like I'm trying to deal with you.
Light.
I ain't.
You are a light.
Yeah. I was not. I'm like I'm trying to. I'm in my player bag. Like I'm telling you, we exclusive. And then she said that he was all like. I'm like, bro, what the fuck? Like, it was just a reflex. I said, yo, what the fuck, bro? Because she walked off. Like, she just walked off. I'm trying to talk to her, and I'm coming down the hall talking to her like, hey, no, like when she's like, don't follow me, don't do this, don't do this. Like I'll scream and say you harassing me, like leave me alone, and she just walk out. So I'm at the end of the hallway, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I like walk down in there, and I'm like, Pierre, what the fuck, Pierre? Like what the fuck is wrong with you?
I do nothing.
And he's like, he was like, I'm so, and all of them were like, all of his homies were scared. He was like, I didn't see her. Like, I'm sorry, I didn't see her. And I'm like, I lost. I was like, bro, don't, just shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. He was like, it was funny too. He just like for like a month, he was trying to make amends. He would just bring random food over. He would try to be like, hey, he would bring like every once in a while, he'd bring a girl like, good, she look good, girl, she like you, girl. I'm like, nah, fam, like, and then it would just be so awkward at track because she'd just be like she never forgave me. Like to this day, she don't fuck with me. Like I'm like, we're grown, and she still don't like fuck with me.
I wouldn't fuck with you either. You lied to her and get caught before you even got what you wanted. You straight lied.
Yeah, that's why I was hurt, bro. Never got to hit it.
That was
I feel like that's happened to a lot of.
That's God looking out for her, not for you.
Well, I'm gonna say I feel like that happens to a lot of dudes. You know what I'm saying? In that sense, where a dude. That's why I always, before I ever say something like that, I would be like, hey, room clear. I would do a room clear check. Hey,
right? Exactly.
Hey, what's up, you know, girl? Then I might say that, but I make sure the parameters are clean before I ever do anything like that.
Exactly. You even check your phone. Keenan do that all the time. Before you say something, he look at his phone and then all right, and then put his phone back down.
Go ahead. What you gonna say, bro? Go ahead. So I say for me, it was an incident where it was with a girl too, but it was like I went over to my girl was out at the time. I used to ride my bike over to her crib, and I accidentally left my bike because I had to sneak out of her house because her dad and her uncle came home.
Oh yeah.
And so after we smashed, I had to leave, jump out the window. So my bike was strapped over there. Her dad locked the bike up, and I think I told the story before. And I remember telling my dad, like, "Yo, Dad, I just need you to lie for me."
Yeah, your dad was like, "I don't lie for you."
And, yeah. You know, at first he kind of like, "Oh, yeah." He said like, "Oh, no problem, son." And then when it happened, you know, he told the truth, and yeah, that's my bike. And then I remember going to my dad, kind of being like, getting a little bit of about to snap on him. And then I kind of like, well, Dad, I thought you. And he's kind of like, first of all, like kind of like a watch your tone, like I'll still fuck you up type tone. But in my room, bro, I was punching my pillow like fucking Trey from Boys in the Hood, bro. Like swinging at the air so hard, screaming in my pillow, like I like my life is fucking ruined. I'll never get my bike back. One. Me and that girl ended up breaking up like right after that, pretty much. So I had no vagina.
You didn't get your bike back from that?
So before we broke up, this is how down she was. She kicked her own door down, like their own garage door down, got my bike, brought it to my school, got it to me, and actually brought it to my house. And she told her dad that some she saw like some guy that was hanging out, and it might have been him that kicked the door down.
Wow.
Kicked the garage door in. And I was like, I was like, dang,
you got some misos in your around you.
This is definitely a ride or die. So next question. No, you didn't answer yet, Brennan.
I got nothing.
You want to answer?
I got nothing.
You got nothing still?
Got nothing.
Okay. So next question. Would you be open to watching more animes with a sinister main character? Ice.
Yeah, I think that. I think especially right now, after there's been so many forms of media that's shown that the antagonists, people are starting to like them more, like the Killmongers, the Thanos of the world. People are really starting to be like, these bad guys got a point. And I think if there was a show that was just about them out the gate, that was just about the people that are bad or they're not even bad, but they're on the opposite side of what's going on. The Boys is another example of that. It's just like I would definitely enjoy to see the other side of a quote unquote protagonist being an evil person. I think that would really be fun to see. I think we have so many hero stories, and I would want it to be where
they say that they're heroes.
Oh my god!
Can you make
Stop.
something
Right.
else?
I need it. Who's the moderator? Brendan, mute his ass for saying that shit. He's on. What's that on? Pardon the interruption. Freeze his ass. But yeah, I think. But I would want it to where it's not like I'm a sinister, like a Kira thing where I'm killing good people. Like I would want to watch it to where his objective is to take over the world, like some Pinky and the Brain shit. Like they're not the good guys here, and they make it known. And if their objective is complete, it's fucking destruction. I think that would really be good to. It'd be cool to watch. It'd be cool to watch that story of to see a villain and watch them just tear shit up.
Brennan?
Yeah, I love antagonists more than protagonists. So for me, yeah, Sinister, let's go. Like, I think the Sinister side of things makes it more interesting, especially that's one of the most interesting things about this show is that you don't know whether you're supposed to love or hate Light. Like at first you're like, oh, he's doing the good. He's trying to help. And then you're like, wait a minute. Like, wait a minute. I love that. So yeah, I'd 100% be more into that.
Rob?
Yeah, I would too. I think, I brought up a lot of good points that there's just, we've seen a lot more like anti-heroes, kind of get portrayed in media, whether it's like The Boys or The Sopranos or, Breaking Bad is, I think, the one that exemplifies that, where you've got a guy that's doing horrible things, but you fucking pull for that dude. Like, you just, like, if you want to see him come out the other side, okay. So I would definitely be down to do that, especially since so many of the shows we've watched seem to be such like Boy Scout, main character.
Justice.
Try his best and try his hardest to like. It'd be interesting to see some more characters like Light that are, get down and dirty and just like, I will get into the fucking mud with you to come out on the other side with a victory, and really kind of undercut that. I think it'd be interesting to see, just to mix it up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree. I just say I'm sick of always seeing the hero story. And, as long as the villain has some type of, like, the reason why we love Killmonger, and I think some people love Light, is because it's like, I guess technically they're wrong. They might be wrong to what society might say, but they're not technically wrong. Like killing criminals, people probably be like, well, they deserve to die. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, is he really a bad person? He's just doing what some people don't want to do, or whatever the case may be. And then some people are also innocent, so it might be fucked up. He's killing some innocent people that didn't have the DNA stuff yet. But I would love to see more strictly from that point of view. I think it'll be pretty cool. It's like a bunch more questions that I actually have written, but I'm gonna get to this last one. It's actually by Brennan, because I just thought this was fun. What would be your catchphrase when you're killing folk with the Death Note? Like delete was always, when I first watched it, was always so funny to me. He was so aggressive. I was just like, this is not even an action anime, but he's just like, they made you into it, and he was just so aggressive. So what would be your catchphrase, Brennan?
Gotcha, bitch. The whole time, like, gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
Gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch.
Or be like DJ Khaled, and another one, and another one, and another one.
Funny. That's funny.
That's it.
Ice.
I mean, I think it's safe to say what mine would be when I would killing everybody.
Trash.
Yeah. Trash.
Yeah, that's exactly what it'll be. So nothing else outside of that. It'll definitely be that, and it'd be fitting too.
Rob.
I would give the airline like steward or stewardess response just like bye bye. Just like bye bye. Bye bye.
Mine was just something simple. It's a Lil Wayne line from I believe it's from Go DJ, and it's like we used to always say this when we were playing basketball.
No, he did.
Yeah, foul to the under the head. Now you know he did. We will always say that if we hit like the game winning shot when playing basketball at the park, or you killing somebody and you just get sloppy. Now you know he did. So it would just frustrate
Brennan,
people.
say it again, Brennan.
Which one?
Now you know he did.
No, I feel like you just want to set me up.
You missed it. You ruined it. You ruined it. It was funny when you said it. I laughed. You blew it.
It actually was funny when you said it. It was hilarious when you said it. All right. So That's the question portion, man. So let's get into our favorite
That's a
portion.
great question.
Our favorite portion, our favorite parts of these last 7, our worst parts, and then our scores. You want to go? You go first, Ice.
Favorite part. I start with my worst part. Worst part for me.
Hey, remember, you don't have to force a worst part either. If you don't have one, you don't have one. If you don't have a favorite, you don't have a favorite. You don't never have to force it.
Yeah, I think the worst part for me is just because it caught me off guard, and it just, given today's climate, it just kind of fucked me up. It's just when Melo's homie, I forgot his name, when the cops just fucking shot his ass. I think that triggered, especially in the light of Breonna Taylor's killers getting getting let off, which is fucking trash. And I think that's garbage. And rest in peace, Breonna Taylor's beautiful queen. And with police brutality, and I think we need to really hold people accountable for the fuck shit that they do, that the police do and that people do. And that's why I know this ain't I didn't want to go here, but I just have to say, like, please vote. And voting is not just for Biden and Trump. It's for district attorneys. It's for district attorneys. It's for propositions like a fucking, that make a no-knock warrant okay. Stuff like that. Like, it's way bigger than just Biden and Trump. Please vote for them as well. Either one. I'll keep, my partisan ideologies away from that, but vote. But 100%, like that kind of fuck with me, because this is like a day after, 2 days after, that verdict, and just even watching that part, I was like, man, it's fucked up. Like, the cops are like, even I forgot, I think it was Rob that said it, or somebody said it, that cartoons always display cops in a negative light, but it's their reflection of what they really are. And that was anime once again doing that, saying, hey, these cops are fucked up. They don't ask any question. Whether that guy, he was wrong or not, they just opened up and shot him. So that was my least favorite part, not because of, of what actually happened in the how it added to the story or what it did for the story, but more so the reflection of cops just consistently getting away with killing people, more specifically black people in America. And I think that's just fucking trash. So, rest in peace, Breonna Taylor. And then my favorite part, I really like that part at the end when he was just going on that deleting spree. Like, I think that shit was fucking fun. Delete. I don't know if you guys ever, watch wrestling, but like Chris Jericho's character has, he has somebody that's like, you have made the list. And then he like writes people on this list. And it kind of reminded me of that, because he was just like, the way he was saying delete is the same way Chris Jericho would be like, you have made the list. And then he starts writing it on the list. So, and the animation was great during that point too, because Keenan made a really good point about this a couple episodes back. It's like, the animation was supplementing the lack of action. And that's how they really nailed those scenes where stuff like that is happening. And they really elevated the animation during that point. And I was just really like blown away by that moment. And it really was cool to watch. And just the fact that he went so hard in the paint and nothing happened from it. It's like, you going hard in the paint and nothing came of that. Nobody died. And him calling him God, and just that whole breakdown of just him, not even talking about light, just the breakdown of him and him trying to realize that, it was cool to watch. Honestly, I thought overall for this show, I thought after, because the last time I was on the show, I gave 5,000 for that stretch of episodes, which I stand by, because that was just a tough patch to watch. And honestly, after Elle died, I thought the show was just gonna fucking fold. Like, I didn't know how they was gonna be able to bounce back from that, and I thought the show would even go down even further. But it didn't. It didn't. It really, granted, I would love to have gave Elle that moment. Granted, those two, Melo and Neil, were working for Light, and they were in his shadow, and they were, part of him. But I really would love to see Elle get that win. but he didn't. But they did a good job of giving Neil and Mello their time and not really falling off the face of the earth when L died. So that was a cool ending. But also too, then I wrap up with this. And also too,
you sound like a pastor right now. Let me. I'm gonna finish right now. Just let me.
Now let me get. I ain't gonna keep you for long. I think it is too. This did let me know that I really want to see action animes though, because this is granted. Just seeing him fall out, pass out on the stairs from Ryuk writing his name, like as satisfying as you would want it to be, it still isn't a spirit bomb blowing something up. It still isn't somebody dying. It still isn't that fucking All Might fighting Overhaul. Like it's not that big moment that you would play back in your head.
Did he say All Might fighting Overhaul?
But it was cool. So not Overhaul. All for One. Excuse me. Fighting over All for One.
Sorry, man. I just can't let nerds go. I can't let nerd things go by.
No, for real. Check me on that. I'll give you that. But it didn't have those big moments like that from an action sense. So that let me know that although I like cat and mouse, I still need some type of action in some type of sense. So overall for the show, for these stretches episodes, I give it 6,000. And overall for the show, I give it a 6,900.
Okay, Brennan?
I'll try to keep mine concise because goddamn Ice.
My bad.
He's been missing weeks, man.
Yeah,
I had to make up. I had to make up for lost time.
No, I mean I enjoyed it again. It was a good time. It didn't disappoint. It continues to top itself in a way that does work. I completely disagree with Ice in the sense that I need action to be satisfied with anime. Because I was very satisfied with this anime. For this stretch of episodes, I would give it a 7,500 again. And I actually would give the entire show as a whole because I was satisfied with how it ended. I did want to see Light die. I was happy to see Ryuk write his name in the book. I was happy to see L get his consolation win. And I was happy to see that everything kind of had a nice little button on the end of it. It didn't leave you with really too much to be desired. Like these writers really gave a shit. They really put in the time. They really kept you guessing and they really kept you on the edge of your seat. Overall, I give this show a 7,800 out of 9,000.
Okay. I try to keep mine pretty quick too. Yeah, I agree with what Brendan was saying. I was still satisfied. The worst part would be, I guess, similar to what I said. My favorite part would be actually just like being so satisfied watching Light, same person, I guess.
Fuck out of here. Fuck out of here.
Be the fuck boy. But like just seeing Light, the tables finally turn against him, and just seeing him lose his shit was just so beautiful. And I haven't seen in the anime yet. Maybe somebody could just pitch another one to me. Just see somebody lose their shit like he did, and it was so dope to see because I really felt like they definitely I feel like they took a real moment in the sense of how people would act in real life, put it in an anime, and made it so realistic. I felt it. I give these stretches of episodes 8,000, like I think I did the last ones, because I feel like it was just amazing. And then I give the overall a 7,900. Rob?
You don't think that moment with Gon in Hunter x Hunter was equivalent to that? Like losing his shit
with the cat chick.
I think it's just two different types. I think that was dope as hell also because he lost it, but he went into a calm type of just like, you just gotta die now. I'm just gonna murder you and I'm just gonna pound your face in for life.
Going with the fuck in.
Whereas this one was just like the classic, like somebody losing their shit and just seeing his face get animated and twirl around with him spinning like It was kind of crazy to see it dope. Rob?
Yeah, my favorite moment is the same one, actually. Yeah, just seeing Light finally crumble and like seeing that inside personality kind of come out. That evil, ugly person he's always been kind of come out and show that to everybody. Like even giving him the red eyes and like the crooked smile, like different.
All the saliva in his mouth and stuff.
Yeah, I just enjoyed watching him squirm, because like he's been one step ahead of everybody this whole show, and so when he finally got back into a corner, it was just like, yo, it's a trap, he's lying, she's lying, everybody's lying, and just like freaking out when they even like touched the metal to his wrist from the cuss, like that was really I was so glad to finally see him get his I feel like he didn't quite get as much as he deserved, if I'm being honest.
Well, wait, hold on.
He died. He died peacefully.
He shouldn't have died, but I'm saying if you're gonna die, he didn't die kinda. He got shot 4 times. Like, he's in pain. That's it.
But he didn't really die from the gunshot.
I get it, but I'm saying
but
he's just struggling. He's completely defeated in every way he knows how to get defeated. He stumbles out, is slowly bleeding out, and then Ryoka's just like, "Yeah, you bitch." Like,
but it was too beautiful. Like it should have been a little bit more agonizing. They had the backdrop going while he was walking. It just looked like
you want Misa just to come up and chop his dick off. Misa comes up and chops his dick off.
I mean, I just want him to be agonizing. He died in the sunset. Get to lay on the steps. Like
yeah, thinking about life.
Yeah, right. You get to reflect.
A little bit more peaceful than I think I would have liked to have seen. But my least favorite part is not necessarily anything that was in there, but maybe what wasn't in there. I was expecting some stuff that they dropped earlier on in the show to kind of come back around. I thought maybe there would be some big reveal of like Ryuk's been playing everybody this whole time, and he was like
cool.
using some little known rule to like, I don't know, become the king of the Shinigami realm. Like that was something that he was doing. Like, or even just like that tape where Light noticed Misa's like hair moving. Like if that had been some sort of like incriminating evidence that came back around. But like once they found out the Shinigami were real, like they never brought that back up.
Yeah.
So just a few details and things that I thought would come back up and never did. That I think could have maybe built this ending up a little bit more for me. I did like it. I did like the show overall. If I could go back and give earlier episodes some higher scores, like I think in the first maybe 2 stretches we did, I think I would. Because I think I gave them maybe like a 7,000 earlier on, even though I was enjoying them a lot, just because I was like, well, we'll see where the show goes.
Harsh, Rob. Oh, it's amazing. 4,000.
I think I gave, because I said I was cautiously optimistic.
Absolutely.
So I would say I probably, if I went back, would give those episodes higher rating. I would say, because I enjoyed the beginning of the show a bit more than I enjoyed the end. I did like it, but L was for me the guy. So just like I should say, I really would have loved it to see him get the victory. But Mello and Mir, they're fine. I like them. So I didn't have a huge problem with them. So all that being said, I would give this stretch of episodes. I would give this stretch of episodes a 7,000, which is I think what I gave it last week. I would give the show overall, I'd give it a 7,200.
Wow.
These stretches are 7. I mean, or actually lower than I thought you would say.
Yeah, I thought it'd be higher than that. I'm slightly offended.
I thought this is 70.
Wait, what was Ice gave it like a 6,900 or something?
That's expected. Yeah. That's expected of us.
Yeah, I was expecting at least like.
I'm within 300 points of Rob. So
it made me actually think of that show that you talked about a few times, Ice Monster. I think you called it.
And Monster is a much better anime than Death Note.
Interesting.
We'll
see.
Maybe. All right, cool.
Audience, what do y'all think about that? What do you think is better than Death Note? Monster or Death Note? But yeah, so those are our scores. Answer all the questions in the bottom. If I don't know what y'all want to do next, if y'all want to watch the live action, I skimmed. There's a few live actions. There's a Japanese version.
Is that the one with Lakeith Stanfield?
Yeah.
I watched the trailer for it on Netflix. It looks fucking weird.
It's horrible. I thought Lakeith did a decent job as L, the best he could. But he's not charismatic. He's not as smart. It's just not. It's just not the same.
I watched the Japanese version. It was the best live action I've ever seen of an anime. Not saying.
It's like, how are you going to put? I mean, they must have changed it because how are you going to put all of this into?
Can't.
Right. Yeah, you 37
can't.
Fucking episodes.
No, like when I watched it, it was like just Ellen Light. It wasn't anything else.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a live action movie and then there's a live action series that they did over there. So there's 2 that you can watch over there and then there's one over here. So if y'all want to get a chance to watch that, y'all can. But yeah, go ahead and drop your stuff. British.
At Mr. Producer Face on Venmo and on Instagram.
Ice.
Ice.McGowan on everything. Appreciate y'all that came through and sent me some money on my birthday. That's love.
Rob?
RB Danger on Instagram.
Keenan Baker on everything. Keenan Baker on Cash App. Animeshun Podcast on everything. And we thank y'all, man. Every week.
Whose pick is next?
Finishing up. I believe it's Ice's pick, right? Or is it?
No, I just went.
You just went, so
I think
I
it's
just
your
did
pick,
Parasite.
Keenan.
I think it's you, Keenan.
it's me. Ooh,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then Brennan.
fuck. I got some thinking to do because I don't have one on top of my head right now.
Cool.
I'll let y'all know.
All right.
No, it's not. It's Brennan. Brennan, you next.
I'm next.
That's what I
Because we
thought.
just did we did Blade of the Immortal before Parasite, so you're next.
Oh.
Yeah. I did Blade of the Immortal, Parasite, Death Note, you.
And then,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
you're
know-
next, Brennan.
Orphans was Brennan's last pick.
Right.
Yeah,
I knew
it's
it was
Brennan's
too
pick.
quick. I knew it was too quick.
All right, Brennan, time pressure's
Cool.
on you then.
Yeah. You know, Brady gonna pick that safety, baby. You gonna pick that safety.
You know,
You
Yo,
guys
what's
know
hot
you
right
got
now?
something you're gonna enjoy coming. That's all you guys know. I have not picked a loser.
Dr. Stone.
I did not enjoy that show. I did not enjoy Dr. Stone.
You bragged about it. That was
You
one
was
of your-
hyping. You was hyping it up when it
First two- yeah,
started.
the
When it
first two
came out, you was
episodes,
hyping it up.
It starts out fantastic, and then it just falls right off the cliff. So I stand by
Let me tell you
everything I said.
something, just real quick. Brennan literally was hyping this shit up so hard,
I
and
was.
then he didn't say
Exactly.
he didn't say a fucking word. I said, hey Brennan, what's up, Dr. Stone, bro?
What?
I told you, I was like, it's trash. It's trash. It's
I was
trash.
like, oh, okay.
They had,
You can't see.
they had so
You
much
thought it was your
potential.
demon. You thought it was your demon slayer, and you
Hold on.
played yourself.
I'm sorry. Wait. You thought it what? How was? What do you mean, my Demon Slayer? I don't get what
I
you
thought
mean.
you know how you always brag about Demon Slayer. How
Let me
you was
say
the
you were
first person to
predicting it,
realize.
just-
Well, I did that.
like
I
you
did
thought
that
this
with
was your
Demon
Demon Slayer, and it
But
wasn't.
Demon Slayer was my Demon Slayer.
Did I not say that?
No, but the way you that.
I just said that. I'm trying.
But
I'm
but you said
trying to
thought
show
this
you
was your
love,
Demon
clown.
Slayer, and I'm like, but it Demon. Okay, I get what you're saying, but the way you put it was really weird.
You thought this?
The way you put it was weird. That's
No,
all.
you thought this was your Demon Slayer. You thought this was your second coming.
All right, guys. Okay. Follow the Animation Podcast on everything at Animation Podcast. We thank y'all for tuning in every week. Thank y'all for showing some love and continue to comment, continue to share. YouTube links, continue to share everything. Let's get these subscribers up, please. Subscribe to our YouTube page. And we thank y'all for tuning in every week to another episode of Animeshun.
Peace.
Out.
And so anime was solved forever.